Welcome, my name is Martin Towers. I am a long-time Go Highlevel user here in New Zealand. And I wanted to make this YouTube video because, and it's totally for free. There's no opt-in at the end. I'm not trying to get anything out of you. I just want to help the community that's been so helpful to me over the years because I came up with a pretty cool solution that I feel like a lot of people go through, potentially can help other people as well. So the problem, what's the problem? The problem is when you are trying to send a lot of text messages to people that have opted in. Obviously, we don't want to be doing that to people that are cold, but people that have opted in even, and you're trying to send them text SMS messages with URLs in them with links. I went through it. I know a lot of other people that have gone through it where the Twilio or Lead Connector would just stop letting you send URLs without any reason. You don't know why, what's going on. And so I figured out an overall solution. I'm not going to take all the credit. I had some help, but ultimately, what we did was we worked out that when you send URLs in short links, it's going to be much better deliverability. But having said that, those short links, if you continue to send the same short links over time, then you're going to have a problem yet again with those short links because it's still going to block them and you're still going to have deliverability issues. So that brings me to this video, and I'm going to show you how I've set it up so that I have this the same URL, the same destination landing pages put into a brand new, completely different short link, and it happens twice a day, automatically updates on all my outbound messages, and I don't have to do anything, and it's free as long as you've got a Zapier account. All right? So I'm going to show you how I did that. We're going to get into it right now. So here is a basic flow. So that you've got to start off with your Go Highlevel custom values, right? So you've got to make sure that you've got, I mean, I've obviously got a whole bunch of custom values in here, but my main ones are the ones I'm talking about for the purposes of this discussion today. Well, let's talk about these ones here, right? So these 3 links, 1, 2, and 3 automatically, and as well as a couple of others on the page there, will automatically get populated every single day, twice a day on autopilot without me having to do anything, okay? So the way we do that is you need to first of all be familiar with a little bit with the Go Highlevel API. Okay, you can just go to public-api.gohighlevel.com, and then once you're in, come down here to where it says get custom to get custom value. There's only what you want to do is the get custom values feature. Okay, so this might look complicated. It's actually not too bad once you understand what to do, and I'm going to show you what to do here. So if you're not familiar with an API, don't worry too much. I'm going to show you exactly what to do, okay? So we're actually going to go ahead and build out one of these flows, all right? So before I build it out, I'll just double check to make sure that you understood what's going on. So every day, twice a day, one of these flows is going to make a new custom short link to my landing page and update the custom values in Go Highlevel. And then Go Highlevel is going to use those custom values to send text messages out to my leads that come in, okay? So that the URLs, today's URLs that go out to the leads are different from the URLs that went out yesterday, basically. So this is how you do it. You're going to start with a schedule step, all right? I believe you need a paid Zapier account to do this. So I do it every day. So I do one at noon and one at midnight. And then once I've finished building one flow, we'll duplicate and do the other flow. So we're going to press yes, schedule by Zapier. I'm going to test that, make sure it's working. Obviously, it's just schedule, it will work. Great. Cool. So the first action we want to do is we want to go to a webhook. All right, webhook by Zapier Premium. So as I said, you need premium to be able to do this. All right, and what we're going to do is we're going to do a GET request. Okay, and this is real simple. Now we're going to follow what we have here on this API. Okay, so this is a GET request, and you're going to copy that. Whoops, and you're going to put the URL in there. Now you're not going to worry about anything else. You're just going to leave everything else blank. Come down to headers. Put the authorization in here. And in this part, you're going to type bearer, and then you're going to put your API key in next, all right? So you're going to grab your API key, and you're going to paste that in there. Press continue, and then you're going to test that. Just take a second to come through. Perfect. And now it's come through. Cool. So that's come through. So what that's done, that's used your API key for your location, right, to go and get all of the custom values that you have listed under that location. Because what we need is we need the name of the custom value and we need a custom value ID. Okay, so I couldn't figure out any other way to get the custom value ID numbers. You need to get these ID numbers. So for that one there, you can see agency logo URL. That's the field key, that's the value, but this ID number is what we need. So find the fields that you want to update, okay? So I've just created, if you come back into my high level, I've just created 3 new custom values down the bottom that aren't being used for anything. They're just for the purposes of this video. And rather than update my main ones, we're going to update these ones instead, okay? So just coming back. So I've used that GET request from the beginning we talked about to get the custom, the IDs for these custom values, okay? So that's them there, right? Test 2 video, test 3 video, test URL video, right? So I'm going to copy them and put them on the side. Great. And now we'll pick up where we left off. Now, once you've done that, you can go ahead and delete this step. We don't need this step anymore. We're only going to need this step once, okay? So the next thing we're going to do is we are going to go and create a short link, right? A URL shortener by Zapier. So you don't need to use Bitly, okay? Bitly, you get like 50 free short links per month. If you have 2 or 3 short links that you want to update per day in your custom values in your Go Highlevel location, you know, you're going to burn through 50 free links a month anyway. You're going to end up needing multiple accounts. It's just going to get hectic and all sort of thing. But if you're already using Zapier, Zapier has short links, right? It's already built in. So you just use Zapier and you're going to put the link that you want here in, obviously, the flow. So let me just grab a link. Let's just do, we'll do anything. It doesn't matter. www.facebook.com / let's just do this now. towersmedia.com, right? So that's the URL that we want to do. Okay, and this is the link that we're going to use. Test. Okay. Now, there's one caveat here that you need to be aware of. So Zapier has now given us our short link. That's it there, all right? So we're going to then move on in a minute to the step where we update that in as a custom value in Go Highlevel. But the problem is that if you remember exactly what that short link looks like, right? I'm going to paste it in there, but I won't press enter, right? And then if we go and test that action again, what you'll find, and it's the same thing with Bitly, is that Zapier will give you exactly the same link the second time around. It doesn't change it. See, they're both exactly the same link, okay? So this isn't going to help us because the whole point of this exercise is to get a brand new link every day to have, so a new link goes out, it's not the same link as the day before, right? So the way I got around this, and I thought it was actually pretty simple, was you just go and add in before that, add in a formatter step. So formatter by Zapier. And you're just going to grab numbers, okay? And then you're going to go to spreadsheet style formula. And all we want to do is the formula goes rand between, and then you just dial 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, comma 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? So basically it's going to give us a random number between these two numbers, all right? So it's going to be a 7-digit number between these two numbers. And it doesn't have to be 6 or 7, or it doesn't matter. Whatever you choose to do, you can do. But we just want a number that's going to be long enough that it's extremely unlikely that it'll give us the same number twice, right? And so we test that. It's going to give us a random number. Great, gave us that number. Cool. So continue and come back down here to your shortener step where we had the URL earlier. Okay. Now we've got here and just put in question mark n equals, and then choose the field, the random field, like that. So every day, when it does this, it's going to round up a new URL, a number at the end of the URL this is not going to affect the URL. If you know what URL parameters are, that's what we're doing here, but there's no parameters on the page for the letter N. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry. Just put N equals, output that, and then test that. And every time you test that, right, so you'll see this will make no difference to the actual page that we land on, but it will give us a different link, right? So zap your link, it lands on the exact same page, but it'll actually give you sort of N equals, but it did give N equals, but my website diverted to home, so it does it. Don't worry about that part. But if you just do this, and then like if you remember this AMP, if we go and test this number step again, retest it to come up with a different number. Right, so it's a completely different number now, and we could test this again. So remember AMP, right? And now this number is completely different. You see, the URL has changed. So every time this step runs, it's going to be a different step because that step's going to run before it. Hopefully that makes sense. So now we've got our unique URL that's going to happen every day. And obviously you want to just create 2 or 3 more steps. If you want to, shorten more URLs, you're very well, you can do that. That's fine. So the next step is we want to update the custom values in Go Highlevel. Okay. So wait till the end of this video because I'm going to show you a really, really cool step that I used ChatGPT to actually make this faster. But the short version is this. You can press the plus button. All right. Come back here to the API and use this where it says put. This is a put request. So put is to update the custom value. So in order to update the custom value, you need to use this URL and you need to put the custom value on the end of the URL, right? So we're going to take that URL. Coming back to what we need to do next, we need to go to webhook, right? And then you got to go to custom request. All right, and then you're going to put a put request. So this time, this one's different. Some of them are different like that. You can click on this event and you can just go put request for some, but for this one, for custom values, you got to press custom request. Continue, put request, right? And then we've got our custom, that URL there. And then again, we want to be replacing that custom value ID with one of the ones that we grabbed earlier that I've copied and pasted. Custom value ID there. And now in this, we'll come back to the data section. We've got it in under headers, authorization. Now it's important that you spell this exactly as I have on the screen. And then in here, you need to put in your API key. Like that. And then when you're doing a put request or a post request, you also need to put in another header, content-type. Again, the spelling needs to be perfect just as I have done, and the lowercase, uppercase, all of that. Okay, cool. So just that like that. Now in the data, if you come back to the API, so the data, they want you the data to appear like this. Okay, so you got to take that, put that in there. So the name has to match the name that you've already got for the custom field. Okay, unless you want to change it, but I don't know why you'd want to do that. So the name that I've got for my custom field, if we come back to it, custom value, sorry, is the one we're doing is this one, test tube for video. So we just want to take that name, right? Put that in there, in between the columns. And the value is going to be the short link that we just generated before. So you're going to come down here and input number 3. That's the shortened URL by Zapier, that short link. We want to put that in for value. Okay, so if you press continue, test. That'll work. And then we come back to this page. If we just go out and back in so it refreshes itself, you will see that test 2 for video has been updated to that URL. Okay, so that is how you do it. And then the easy way, the longer way is to take that step and duplicate it and do it again and update the custom ID and a new URL for the other fields, so this field and this field. But if you're like me and you've got a lot of URLs to update every day, as well as every single task on Zapier costs more money, so you don't want to be using too many tasks every day. I have an even better solution than that. Okay, so if you do one link or 2 links, that will probably suffice. This next solution is a little bit more advanced. So stick around for that, and I'll show you how to do it now. This is something that I got, ChatGPT to build for me, basically, because in this execution step here, there's no ability. If you tried to add in another one and update 2 at the same time, it won't work. It's not built that way, right? So what I did was I got ChatGPT to write me some JavaScript to execute this code on a loop, depending on how many items were in there. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that. I'm going to completely delete it. All right. And I've got another screen here I need to copy and paste from. Basically, what we want to do now is go in here. Let's actually, I need to have another step here. So I'm going to grab another URL. So we've got two versions of the URL. Doesn't matter that the link is different, because we just need to have 2 of them, right? Great, so we've got 2 URLs now. So in our action, what we're going to do is we're going to go code by Zapier, right? And then we're going to go run JavaScript. So this is really great because you can do an unlimited number, all right, as many as you want, all right? And I'll put the code below this website, and I'll put the other links, the API links and all that sort of stuff below too. Okay, so that's the code that you need. Copy and paste it. Okay, now what you do is up above this, you want to put 4 fields. The first one you want to say names, and then the next one you want to say IDs. We'll come back to this section in a second. And then you want to have values. Again, the spelling here, guys, is extremely important. API, we have capital K-E-Y for API key, okay? So what we want to do now is we want to list all of the names of the custom fields that we're updating in this section, all separated by commas, okay? So for example, we've got our custom fields down here. We've got test2, test3, test URL, right? Those are the names. Now remember, I copied them earlier, so I'm just going to take them from my computer here. Whoops. Take them from my computer here. We're going to put the first one in, separate it with a comma. Now no space, and then we'll just grab the second one. No spaces, okay? Comma. And then we'll grab the third one. All right, done. And so on, however many you want to do. All right, now the IDs, you want to do exactly the same thing in the same order. Okay, so the ID for the first name in the first, and then the ID for the second name, second, and then ID for the third name, third, and so on and so on. Okay, you get the idea. All right, so I'll go ahead and do that. Comma. Right. And then the values, okay, the values are now the URLs that you made. So the first one might be number 3. Okay, so the first one would be number 3. Again, comma, no space. And then the second one might be number 4, comma. The third one, you'd have another step there for the third one, but I'll just reuse number 4 for the purposes of today's demonstration. You see these URLs are the same, all right? They're the same in this example. And the reason for that is when I tested number 4, I still used the same number from number 2, right? And I used the same link. I didn't change the data on number 4. I hope that makes sense. Right? So if there was a different URL there, like I used towers-media.com for both of number 3 and number 4, and then they both had the same number on the end, so the same Zapier short link came out. But if you have a different URL, obviously the URLs are going to be different. Cool. And in here, you are then just going to put, don't worry about putting bearer, just put your API key in here. Okay. Now, once you've done that, come down, continue, and watch the magic happen. Right. So let's just double check what we've got on the page. Let's just change this back to number 1. Right. So we've got 1, 2, 4, and test that. Done. 3 seconds. Now, again, change pages, come back in, Go down, and you'll see there, they've all been updated, and each one of these links will work perfectly and take the user to exactly where you want them to go. So that's it, guys. That's how it works. Now, if you want to, so that's obviously going to run every day on a schedule at midday. What you want to do, if you want that to run twice a day, just duplicate it. So once you finish building the Zap once, duplicate it. And then on the copied version, just change it from 12 midday to 12 noon. So you have 2 Zaps running, one at midnight, one at noon. And then you may not even need 2. One a day might be enough, but I do 2 just so that I know that I've always got a fresh link and I don't have to worry about, that sort of thing. You might not even want to do this for, you might know, this use case potentially is not even just for these URLs, right? Like that code being able to simultaneously update all of your custom values in a snapshot. Another use case for that, here's a good use case, right? Is let's say you have, every time you onboard a customer, they fill in an onboarding form and you want all of those onboarding answers that they give you to populate the custom values of the location that they create in Go Highlevel, right? That's a use case that I use the same code for in another use case that I have. When they fill in the onboarding form, it updates all the custom values, not one step by step. It runs in a loop just like that. So I hope that was helpful for anybody. If you have questions or if you need any more help with it, I'd be happy to help you. Just either comment down below or send me a message on Facebook and I'll be happy to help. So I hope that makes sense. And I have some other cool things that I want to do in future too, by the way. I muck around with this sort of thing all the time. So in future, I may be able to do other videos of other cool stuff, that automations and stuff that I do. So appreciate you watching. Have a good day.